Welcome back, everybody. Here I have a video on my greenhouse build, and I only have pictures, so I'm going to try to explain these pictures as we go along. So in our first picture here, you see the foundation of the greenhouse. It is 4x4 womanized posts, 14 by 10 is what we decided we were going to build this greenhouse. And we just took a rock on the one corner by where Steve is standing, and we leveled it up with some long levels and screwed in the ends. And then we are just going to fill in the areas with pea gravel and also an underlayment. So just to keep the weeds down and to keep it clean from the dirt coming into the pea gravel. We also used some pavers, as you'll see later on, for the base. And just recently, we added some more pavers inside of the greenhouse. So we also decided that we were going to wrap this with greenhouse plastic. And so the roof, you'll see as well, is flush with the walls on the outside so that it was easier to apply that. So you'll see in the next picture, one of the walls is being put into place. And along with the wall being put in place, you can also see we are starting the construction of our koi pond and some of my raised beds over to the right of the picture. We made those out of pallets, which I wouldn't suggest doing, but you can see that in the picture. And then here at Marketplace is one of the doors and leftover window we had in the basement from doing an addition on our home. All 4 walls are put up and the doors in place, and we are starting the construction of the roof. You can see how in the corner on the right of the structure there, it just comes right flush. And of course that is because we're going to put greenhouse plastic on this, and it's a one big huge piece that we just put over the whole structure and then stapled into place and then secured with some pieces of wood so that the wind wouldn't catch it and blow it away. So here you can see the roof is completed and Steve is putting in the final screw, and soon we'll be able to put the plastic up onto the greenhouse. The koi pond is still waiting to be constructed. So here you can see that we have a drill on the ground and a long bit, and we drilled through the 2x4 and the 4x4 womanized posts and did different angles, and then Steve is holding a rebar, and we take that and we've been pounding them in different directions. So one would go north, one would go south into the direction of the rebar going in, try to secure it to the ground so if wind blows on it, it will stay secure. And there's the greenhouse plastic going up. So on the top part, we kind of folded them down and stapled it in place. And then the front and the very back, we had to put other pieces of the plastic in place so that it was all finally secured. And you kind of can see there's an opening there for a window on the side. So now it's all airtight and ready to go. We have a front window in and a side window in, and we have moved some of the pea gravel into the floor of the greenhouse. Next, we started with our fireplace, and I had got this as well on Marketplace, and so it would keep the greenhouse warm for only about 3 hours until you had to restock it with some wood. So I am going to figure out a different way of heating my greenhouse, which will probably be maybe propane or it will be a diesel heater. So we'll see about that. But there it is. It's so pretty, and it's really fun to sit by in the wintertime and have a cup of coffee. So here Steve found an electric fan, and it runs on solar and it works really good, but it would be nicer to have a powerful fan. So in our next construction, we are going to go and make the roof so it will lift open and I can let a lot more of that heat out. So as of today of 2024, I have 7 windows, 1 in the door, 2 up above, and then the rest are regular windows. So that will be very nice to have a roof that opens up. So also we have started construction on the koi pond, and the previous winter I had started some cuttings of fig trees, and my husband wanted me to grow fig trees. So I looked into it and found out there's quite a few varieties of fig trees. So I ended up with about 30 varieties the first time, and ended up almost over 115 different fig trees, and now I'm going currently down to about 60-ish fig trees because it's very hard to store them in my garage. I also started construction on some raised beds and started putting chips around my raised beds to help with the weeds and not have to cut around them. Fire pit we started to put in place, and we had to cut down a couple of trees so that we would get more light. Gardens just start to evolve, and sometimes when you plant a tree, you end up having to cut one down just to bring in more light for other new projects that you decide you want to do. So anyway, these are some of the pictures of how things are coming. You can also see a big locust tree there by the house that we had cut down just about a year and a half later. So this is the end of the first part of this video. The next one will actually be video that I had taken as we do the final process of our greenhouse makeover. We are putting some siding on the outside. We are putting on permanent plastic and a permanent roof. So look forward to seeing that in 2024 for the roof. So here we are going to go into this next part of the video. I hope you enjoy it. Steve and I had to do some prep work on the walls so that we could add the siding to it. It is a cement board siding that needed to be pre-drilled, and it was kind of a slow process. So here we go into the next video. I hope you enjoy. So we're going to start the transformation of our greenhouse. We're going to replace some of the wood on it, and then we're going to side it right in this area here up from some leftover siding, and also on the south side, just like a knee wall. And eventually we're going to do the north side completely all the way up, and maybe possibly a knee wall in the back as well. So got our sawhorses out and our tools, and get started here.
That was amazing.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do the other one. All set.
So you saw in the little previous clip that we were putting some supports in so that the cement board siding has somewhere to be secured with the nails. And here Steve and I are leveling the siding so it's nice and straight when you look on it from the front. So we found out that the new wood was really hard to put a nail into, so we had to pre-drill everything. So this really slowed down the process.
Roughly there, you can hit yours. Then I can level mine out.
You want me to hit mine in?
Yeah, hit yours and then level mine out and drill for it.
That was drilled on an angle, babe.
Basically level. There.
I'll hold it.
Hold it. Just run this in a little bit.
Yeah, it's bad. That nail. Woo! That's better than.
I'm gonna score a bit. Oops.
So this is what we got done yesterday. I just thought I'd come out here while it was sunny. With the sun rising in the east, it hits it real nice so you could see. So we put in our supports so we could hang the cement board. The cement board is left over from the front of our house. And then these are plastic, so they'll never, you know, I guess get bad. Hopefully we're going to try it and see if it doesn't warp or anything with the sun. Probably not up here in Michigan it will do that, but we will see. And so this is the end of yesterday's, and we're hoping we did cut some pieces to put in here today, so hopefully if the weather stays nice we're going to try to get this up. And then the pattern is similar to our home, but we're going to have to cut down one of the larger boards for the top piece because we need a little bit of ledger here in order to hang the permanent greenhouse polycarbonate, I don't know, whatever. We're going to try to use the thin stuff on the walls. So anyhow, that is the next step. I just wanted to kind of update you on that. It's been so cold that we only do a little bit at a time. Hopefully this cold spell is going to go away. Of course, we have other things on the agenda, so this will have to be put on hold. But doesn't that look so much cuter with the bottom done? We are also trying to think how we're going to attach that siding, or not siding, but like a greenhouse plexi stuff that you put on here. Because the sides we're going to use that, and then on the top we were going to do like the wavy stuff, kind of like corrugated steel. But we might have to add some areas where we can secure it. We thought about maybe taking these back off, but I don't know if we're going to do that to kind of secure it behind and then put that back on top of it. So I got to figure out how we're going to do that, because we had to put bracing to get this on. So we're probably ending up, we're going to put it sitting on here, and then we're going to put something to cap it, a trim piece like along there. So anyway, that's what that looks like. Also with this stuff, you have to leave a little bit of a gap, and then you're supposed to caulk between the cement board, at least with this particular brand. So anyhow, and you see this white here, that's just me from when I was doing the house projects. I did some priming, so they got that on there, but I'm going to paint this the same color as our house eventually. But very happy so far on how it looks. So this is kind of what it looks like inside. We just put the 2x4s like flat so we could nail into it for bracing for the others. My husband used his jig, and here's the screws went in really nicely here. So this north side of the wall we're planning on covering completely, and we're going to put this one window in here. And then here I want to put my potting station. And then over on this side is where we want to put shelves across so I can put my plants, and then underneath I will store different fertilizers and stuff or whatnot. But right now it's kind of being used as a shed, and we really like coming in here in the winter and putting a fire in and just soaking up the rays of the sun and sitting in our chairs, but we haven't been able to do that the last couple of years, mainly because we're storing stuff for this project. So anyhow, I just thought I'd show you the mess. Anyway, and so that is pretty much it. This thing is kind of nice. I might have to buy another one because this is kind of seen better days. Maybe after this project I'll get a new one, because they're really nice to have when you have the door open wide open. So anyhow, bye-bye mess. This is our south-facing wall. This is the one we're going to do still a half knee wall with what we did in the front. And if we have enough, we're going to do the back as a knee wall. And then eventually we'll put on the steel roof and the plexi roof on this side, because you really don't need it on the north side of your greenhouse. And it'll also keep it more insulated in the spring when I want to bring stuff out here to harden off and stuff. So anyway, that is this side. This is the south side. So now we're taking the screws out of the furring strips. So this will be all off. We had these on here to kind of secure this plastic to the 2x4 that's inside. So that is the first step to this process. So this evening we started and we got 2 boards under here. There's like a ledger board, or what do you call it, piece? Do you know? It's a board that you have to put under so it tips all the siding just on a little bit so it sheds. So anyhow, that's 1, 2, 3 done, and it's getting late. The sun is setting and we're tired and the wind died down, so it's very muggy out. But this is the hardest part, the lowest part, so we're very happy. And as you can see, maybe from here, we switched it, and we're doing this because we're doing this with scrap wood, and we're not gonna probably have enough to get up to here if we started it with a small one, or I mean a big one. So anyhow, we'll see. But anyhow, that's it for today. So this is a tight squeeze, but we're almost done. We have one more piece to hang along here, and it's very hot and sunny here, but we want to get this done because eventually the fig trees have to come over here because our raspberries are just starting to bloom, and we need to have this, I want to have this caulked on some certain areas and painted before I have to move these to here, which should be probably in 2 weeks. So we'll see, maybe a little longer, I'm not sure, but around there. Anyway, I just wanted to show you a little bit more of an update where we're at right now. So we started the back side. As you can see, we have 2 more pieces to go, and I had to prune this apple tree quite a bit back before. So anyhow, there we are. We're doing pretty good. Another side, this is the back side facing west of the greenhouse makeover. Putting a nice plastic trim on here so that it won't deteriorate, and hopefully it'll look good for a long time. Very good. So we have decided that with some of the cement board that we had left over that were thin pieces, that we're gonna do that around the inside of the windows just to kind of trim them off. So Steve's got these 2 done, and then I'm gonna swing around real fast, and he's got just the bottom piece to do there. And then we're not quite sure what we're going to do with these bigger pieces, but we had thought about maybe just setting them some areas on towards the bottom and maybe a little bit at the top, just so you could put like tools in there, but we're not sure we want to do that. So anyway, that's where we're at now. The window we were going to install in here, we decided not to, so we might take out maybe the bracing in here. Just to get this not looking like there was supposed to be a window there, and maybe leave the bottom one in case we do put a window. We just have to put whatever we need at the top. So anyhow, that's where we're at right now. Hello. So here we are inside of the greenhouse, and we're putting in the first of the supports for the roof. This will be the clear roof, and on this side we're going to put tin. So we got to put down here in the middle and at the top for the ridge eventually too. So anyhow, we just started that. So far we have like 22.5 and 22, and the next one's 22.5. So I guess we built it fairly even. I don't know if you want to say that's even or not, but anyhow, we're on our way to getting this done. So we have all the bottom ones in on this side, and now we are on the second row. We got 3 in and 1 cut ready to go up. So we'll show you how we're doing that. So we're finagling this in. We might have to give it a little cut with the saw because we didn't quite test this one yet. We got our marks. We put marks from the bottom up to a certain point, which I think was 29.25.
Yep.
And then allowing for the amount of the 2x4, which would be right in half of the 2x4 that's up there. When we put the supports up above, I call it like the rick-rack supports at the top, where you would then screw the metal or plastic roof in. So anyhow, we're getting that in. That looks good. Well, that looks good too. This just needs to come down so it's not above the other rafter.
Yeah, there we go.
There, that looks really good.
Then just kind of square it up.
Yeah, did the other side come down a little bit too much now? Poking out more or no?
I'm gonna check. Yeah, it did.
All right, well, maybe screw in one side and we'll go for the other.
Yeah.
So we got one side just screwed to stay in place so we can get that little gap there. I'll zoom in. There we go. Get that up a little bit. There we go. And now you can screw in that side as well. The right angle, which looks good to me. Go. And that's how we're doing it pretty much. Here we are. This is day 5. We're gonna start here. It's really hot here at Michigan. It's supposed to be 90 what today? 90 something. 2. I'm gonna put the supports for the roof up here and see how far we can get. Like they say, measure twice, cut once. Now we're measuring. It's getting very hot in here. It's 102, almost 104. And we're going to be quitting here after we're done these 3. So day 5, we'll get this row done. And then all we have to finish is the peak. And then we can start, hopefully, on the roofing, unless there's something we forgot. But there is our wonderful temperature inside of the greenhouse. Whoo-wee! So this is day 6, and we finished the ridge cap on this side, and this side we're almost done. We have 2 more to go here. Excuse me. 2 more to go here on the end, and then we can start on the roof. So we probably start on the metal side. We'll have to take the chimney down and then put it up and then reinstall the chimney. So that'll be a fun thing, I'm sure. And here we go with the last piece for the ridge support. So hopefully this goes well. There's been quite a few little wonky spots up here, but of course we constructed this back in what year, dear?
What's that?
What year did we build the greenhouse?
2019.
2019, so it's been through a few windstorms and stuff since.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we just hammered in place. He had to drill. I think he had to cut this one a little bit on an angle.
Yeah, the end over here is on an angle.
And then we butt up the bottom.
That's pretty good right there.
I'm zooming in. There.
Just gonna screw it in now. One more. Oops. Done.
Very good. Yay. Here's a before of the greenhouse being painted. This one has just a first coat put on it so you can see the difference a little. And now I got to do the other 3 sides in this color. It's a beautiful day here. It's going to be 61, so I figured it's a good time to finally get at least a first coat on the greenhouse. So as we approach the greenhouse, doesn't it look so much better? Of course, there's a lot of shadows, but I got 2 coats on, so it looks so much better. It just makes it look nice. I didn't have a cut-in brush, so it was hard to cut in on the sides, but it looks just so much better. All in one color, it doesn't look so dull. And then there was that white streak here. And it was really hard to paint because the sun was just like blazing on there that I couldn't see. And then I started to get shadows and I'm like, I got that side done. 2 coats, and then the back I got 2 coats on. So there's the back. I'm so glad that that's done. We had a nice day, clear skies, pretty windy. So the first coat of paint was like boom, dry. So, but oh, it looks so much better. And then we walked inside, and I'll show you what we did in there. So here, it's hard to tell because the lawnmower's sitting on most of it, but these are the original. You can see they look not quite as dark as the new ones. And it's warm in here. It's 80. Whew, man, what a difference. But let me move this beast over here. There. But we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new ones in here, and it makes it so much nicer walking in. It's more secure. All the pea gravel, which I would not recommend pea gravel. Great for drainage, but it's just mushy unless you have something like this to keep it in place. But anyway, got that done. So this is nicer. And boy, it's hard to see in here. I have to do almost like a really wide angle lens to really see in here. And it'd be nice to sit here and have some coffee and a warm fire during the winter, unless it gets to 80 degrees in here from the sunshine. And there we still have the roofing and the siding for the front to be done. So anyway, that's a lot for there. So I'm going to leave you with the end of this greenhouse makeover for now. This year we are going to try and put the roof on. Hopefully the weather will be good so we can finish that. And I'm hoping to also do the window boxes, new window boxes for my house up front. So stay tuned for those. And I am going to start doing some pruning on my grapevines that I have on these trellises, which is really not the best way to grow them, but this is how I started this particular one. And then these over here, I have 2 varieties as well over here. So I have a red seedless, and then one that I'm not quite sure what type of grape it is, but it has tiny little yellow grapes. So I'm thinking it's like a champagne. And then this one over here was supposed to be a seedless red, yellow, but it has seeds. But it produced so much that if you look back on one of my other videos, I did some juice and some jam out of this one. So anyhow, that is the end of this one for the greenhouse. Stay tuned for more updates on that coming this summer. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.